In related news, major changes are reportedly on the way when it comes to shutting down illicit massage parlors tied to prostitution and human trafficking in Colorado Springs.
CSPD credits our ongoing investigation that started last year for exposing the issue in our community. In fact, the investigation was just recognized Saturday with an Emmy Award.
A warning: the update you are about to see contains graphic content not suitable for children. KRDO News Channel 13 investigative reporter Chelsea Brenzel talks exclusively about the new approach police are using to shut down these illicit massage parlors for good.
In a city where some leaders tout conservative values, Colorado Springs is home to over 24 massage parlors that make it clear online sex is for sale. These illicit massage parlors are in shopping centers, some even near houses of worship, hiding in plain sight.
There are a significant number of them in the community. We're aware of that.
One spa in the Nob Hill neighborhood was busted for prostitution by Colorado Springs police within the last year. But just a week ago, an explicit review of one spa popped up on a website called Rub Maps. Rub Maps is an online platform which allows users to rate sexual services and the women who perform them at illicit massage parlors. The reviews are extremely explicit about women's bodies and what type of sex they had and how much they paid for that sex. We paid one spa on Iowa Avenue a visit last week.
Hey there, I'm Chelsea with KRDO. Listen, I'm here because of this review right here. I know that this business was busted for prostitution within the last year. I'm trying to understand why somebody went online and said that you guys were selling sex as of 3 days ago.
No, we don't. We do just massage.
Were you busted within the last year for prostitution?
I don't know. Oh my God.
Colorado Springs police are cracking down on these situations. We'd like to talk to you, and we'd like to talk to whoever runs your business.
Please.
Please what? We want to hear from you. Are you selling sex here? We're gonna leave these reviews with you. These are from the last few months. These are people that claim that you guys are selling sex here. I put them under the door. But just so you know, CSPD is cracking down on this. They're gonna be more aggressive.
One Spa is one of 18 massage parlors in Colorado Springs investigated by police in the last year and a half. Dream Therapy on the south side of Colorado Springs is another spa cited for prostitution in October 2019. No one from Dream Therapy came to the door when we went to ask why online reviews suggested they were still offering illegal sexual services as of 2 weeks ago. 11 other spas were issued citations for not having proper massage licenses during those visits by police from January 2019 to the end of February 2020.
Out of your coverage, we took a look at where can we be better? You know, what things can we do better? How can we look differently at these investigations? Are there other things going on?
John Koch is the head of the Metro Vice Unit at the Colorado Springs Police Department. His team spent the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic working with city attorneys to figure out how to shut these places down for good.
Just going and issuing a citation for a license violation or prostitution, what we see is those businesses stay in operation. They may pop back up under a different name.
Lieutenant Koch says his team trained over the last few months to conduct longer-term massage parlor investigations that could result in more serious felony charges. Investigators are hopeful this new approach will prevent these so-called spas from popping up under different names or locations in Colorado Springs, which has happened on numerous occasions across the city.
When you look at things with a longer lens, you may be looking at determining that there's some type of trafficking going on. And maybe it's not sex trafficking, maybe it's labor trafficking. Maybe it's neither one of those, but there's money laundering or some other activity that's going on in these businesses that we find.
Investigators are also now working to enforce Colorado Springs' public nuisance order. The city code allows officers to work with landlords and the courts through abatement to shut down a business that has 2 or more instances of illegal activity, including keeping a place of prostitution and pimping.
It's not as simple as what many people think, that we go in and there are these people that are being trafficked and we take them out of the business and we arrest everyone and we move on. It just doesn't work that way.
In fact, Lieutenant Koch says many times the women working inside won't speak to police during a bust, making it more challenging for police to identify potential victims of human trafficking.
The issue that creates is that if we don't know that something's going on, and if victims won't talk to us and tell us what's happening, it's very difficult to hold the people above them accountable.
While the Metro Vice Unit works to hold those running these operations accountable, they want victims to know they are not alone and there is help. And they have a warning for the illicit spa owners.
We are actively working to make arrests and do investigations into these businesses, and people need to be aware of that. And my message would be to stop, because we are looking at a new way of doing this.
In Colorado Springs, Chelsea Brentzel, KRDO News Channel 13.
And hopefully operating on borrowed time there.
Seems like progress is coming, you know?
Yeah. So we asked, how many illicit spas are there in Colorado Springs?
When we started our investigation in January of 2019, there were 36 spas. Most spas closed during the initial stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, but many of them have since reopened and some have changed their names.
And currently, we estimate there are at least 27 illicit spas still operating in Colorado Springs shopping centers.